Hello, uh, my audience. I'm delighted again to come back to you. Welcome to Jewel's Counseling Center, where human beings are so precious to us, for you are a precious gem to us. I'm holding in my hand some two beautiful flowers, as you can see. I have gotten these nice flowers right from this garden behind me. This is our retreat center, Jewel's Retreat Center, where we come to interact with nature through nature therapy. A talk for another day. For today, I would like us to talk about bereavement. But before we go to bereavement, I want to appreciate you so much for being so loyal to us. You have been there with us on our Facebook page, and I've seen so many of you like what we posted in our previous episode about trauma. Thank you. Feel so appreciated. So today we are here again to learning about bereavement. What is bereavement? Bereavement is a process that takes place after we have lost a loved one through death. Wow, death is not an interesting topic, but it is a reality. Yes, we know we have lost loved ones at one point or another. And it wasn't easy. It can also not be easy for me. I have a story to tell about myself, but we'll talk about it later. I am a bereavement therapist, and I want us to talk about death in relation to these beautiful flowers here. Our life is so beautiful. We look so pretty when we are alive. We smell so nice. These flowers are producing a very nice fragrance, just like our spray, the deodorants we use. We smell so nice. We look so pretty like these flowers. But a day comes, that day comes when we are no more. That day comes when our loved one that was blossoming like these flowers ceases to be. And when that happens, you can imagine a comparison of these two flowers from the same species, but now this is a dead one. This one has withered. It has no life. Does it mean because it has withered, it has become useless? No. A flower produces a fruit after it dies. So the death of a flower is the beginning of a new life. So death is not a permanent thing. It is not the end of everything. It is a transition to another life elsewhere, which we may not know because we've never died, but we should not look at it like it is the worst decree that can ever be passed to somebody. Now, when we go through bereavement, what goes on in us? First of all, we have several reactions. The first reaction, we have reactions like social reactions. What do I mean by social? Some of us feel like we don't want to go where there are many people. That is a social reaction. Others become very clingy to friends, because we imagine if we stay closer to them, we will not die. Death comes with a lot of fear. The death of a loved one creates a lot of fear. And you can imagine even when you go to view the dead body, and some of you, when I'm supporting you, you've ever requested to touch it. And I normally carry a pair of gloves for such people because it is okay. It is okay to touch. So when they wear the gloves and they come into contact with the dead body, all they tell me is, Jane, it is totally cold. That is not my brother. That is not my sister. That is not my mother. That's not my child. Totally cold. Because life is no longer in that body. So, after coming into contact physically with the body, remember, any physical contact is also registered in our brain. For how long do we live with that memory of the cold that we felt? Wow, that is what we'll be talking about in bereavement. And bereavement can affect people differently because we are all different. And we should never compare ourselves with other people. Never. We react differently, we operate differently, we heal differently. But is there total healing in bereavement? My viewers, that may not be there. But what happens is that gradually you become better by day. As they say, time is the best healer. That is a reality with bereavement. As days go by, you continue to become better. You continue to change and become better. You feel better. But it can never be totally okay. Well. How can we get affected socially? There are some people who feel they don't even want to go close to people who are close to them before the loss. I don't know, sometimes they feel like they will become a constant reminder of the person they have lost. I don't know, but they just want to be withdrawn. Other people physically, they will change. You find people losing a lot of weight, others self-neglecting, not combing their hair anymore, not taking care of themselves anymore. It's like they are feeling like I'm the next one. So why do I have to go for gym? Why do I have to maintain a good shape? Remember, my friends, life has to continue. Pick yourself up, but we'll talk more about how can we get there. My viewers, the other reaction is spiritual. I've seen people, anytime they go through a loss, I've even had others start to talk in tongues. They pray, they become very godly. They speak in tongues and they pray a prolonged prayer, hoping for something to change and happen. That is a spiritual reaction. But I want to urge you that you should never ever compare yourself with another person during grief. Refrain also from telling other people what you did to cope, because we are wired differently. Your experience may not be the other person's experience, so refrain from telling people how yours was, because it may not be the same as theirs. Might be I will share a small story as I had promised initially. And I lost my mother when I was in Form 3. Those are many years back. Have I healed from it today? No. But the intense pain that I felt that very day when I lost her is not the same today. Today I look at her photos with a lot of fondness. Today I talk about her with some fondness. I have fond memories about my mother. I tell my children about who she was, how beautiful she was, what she used to do for me without tears today, after so many years. But, my friends, I was not like this before. At one point, it took me a whole 10 years of grieving my mother before I could get to a point where I would say, I've come to terms with it. And it took a therapist to take me through so many sessions for me to get there after a whole 10 years, my friends. So I don't know whether you're there, you're listening to me, you've taken a longer duration of time. There is still hope, because Jane is here today addressing you people. And courtesy of the pain that I felt when I lost my mother, I became a bereavement therapist. With a lot of passion, my friends, to the point where I will work with morticians in the mortuary to ensure a body is presented looking really good. Because I don't believe in people being taken through trauma because of viewing a body of a loved one. Thank you so much. We are entering into yet something else. I want us to talk about the stages of grief. Is grief just anything? Today we will learn what stages, what happens in our body, what do we go through all the way until you get where I am today. Where I am saying, I look at my mother's photos, I look at her with fondness. But that doesn't mean I don't become sad. There are moments when I feel really sad, especially when others are going home to visit their mothers, and I have no mother to go and visit. It takes me back again. It gives me a nostalgia. And I feel if my mother was there, I would also be going home to my mother like other people. Thank you, my viewers. And I love you so, so much. Continue interacting with us. You are a precious jewel to us. Thank you.
Hi viewers,